الحمد لله الذي هدى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى خصوصا على سيد الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين اجتبى. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أذن للذين يقاتلون بأنهم ظلموا وإن الله على نصرهم لقدير. الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم بغير حق إلا أن يقولوا ربنا الله ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لهدمت صوامع وبيع وصلوات ومساجد يذكر فيها اسم الله كثيرا ولينصرن الله من ينصره إن الله لقوي عزيز. الذين إن مكناهم في الأرض أقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأمروا بالمعروف ونهوا عن المنكر ولله عاقبة الأمور. صدق الله العظيم. In our previous session, we were talking about the fitnas that the Ummah had to challenge after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We specifically talked about three of them, or three categories, I should say. One, those who rejected to pay the zakah. Number two, those who claimed the prophethood after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And number three, those who totally turned away from Islam and went back to kufr wal iyazu billah. We talked in some detail about the reason for Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in to fight those people. And we talked about the difference of aqeedah between those groups and the Ummah on the mainstream, the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. Going back in general to talk in general about that part of the history, of course, is so detailed that if we just talk about the details of these events that Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in went through after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we'll be just talking about these events for years. And you will figure out what I'm trying to say once, inshallah, today we will talk in brief about some of the things they had to face. Keep in mind the challenges that Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in were facing from all around the world. And you'll be surprised to hear that from every town they were hearing that there are people who have turned away from Islam, and not only turned away from Islam, they are also preparing an army to fight against the Muslims in Medina Munawwarah. When the two superpowers, the Roman and the Persians, heard about it, and they also heard that Muslims are getting stronger during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they were afraid that this might become one of the powers in the world. So they already had in their mind to take care of the Muslim Ummah, so that they won't grow up that big, that one day they will think about confronting the superpowers of the world. That was in their mind already. When they heard that many people have turned away from Islam, and at the same time, within the period of couple of months, within the period of about 2 months, there were at least 5 people who claimed the prophethood. Within the period of 2 months, 5 periods, 5 people get up and they claim the prophethood. And each of them has a large number of followers. And each of them have a target, and that is the Muslim Ummah in Medina Munawwarah. And Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in every day are getting the news of some new groups getting up against the Muslims. Some new groups planning to attack the Muslims. Every day they are getting some of these news. This is within 19 days they got enough news that they thought almost from every town there is a group that is willing to attack Medina Munawwarah, other than those 5 people who are claiming the prophethood. These are murtaddeen who turned away from Islam. And in that situation, under these circumstances, Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu goes up on the minbar. This is the 3rd day of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's death. He gets up on the minbar and he announces that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam before his death prepared an army to be sent to fight against the Roman Empire. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prepared an army to go and fight against the Roman Empire in Palestine under the leadership of 18 years old boy Usama bin Zayd Radiyallahu Anhu. Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu announced that I want every person that was assigned to go in that battle to go and get ready. And he assigned a place that was called Juruf, just in the suburbs of Medina Munawwarah. He said, I want everyone to get ready and get together in the place of Juruf. All the Sahaba are looking at each other. What's going on? After hearing all of that news with all of these enemies that are attacking us from here so close by and from our own country, this army had 3,000 people. Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu is going to send 3,000 warriors, and they were selected warriors of the Muslim Ummah. Of course, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sending that army to fight against the Roman Empire, so he had to select some chosen people for that. So these 3,000 people were asked to get ready and start heading towards Palestine to fight the Roman Empire. All the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in tried to explain to Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu, Abu Bakr, please, this is not the time for that. Let's take care of these people who are turning away from Islam, who are attacking Medina Munawwarah. Their armies are on the way. Abu Bakr Radiyallahu Anhu said, I can't do that. If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sending the army and he had prepared this army, there is no way for any Khalifa or any person in the world to postpone the work of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They said the situation have changed. Use the wisdom. He said the wisdom is to fulfill the order of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Finally, when they realized that Abu Bakr is not going to change his mind, So finally, they went with one request to Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu, Abu Bakr,